What if I told you you could change your whole entire life by just changing one key aspect of it? I know this sounds too good to be true, but what I'm about to explain to you will change your life. I'm about to explain to you the neuroscience behind why we are the way we are, how we've been creating our lives so far, and how we can completely choose the life that we want and co create it with the universe. If you're new to this channel, hello, my name is Ramya, and I've spent the last decade just in this world of personal development, trying different modalities of healing, trying different ways of trying to fix my life because I realized at one point that I was being a victim of my circumstance. My money energy sucked, my mental health was not great, I wasn't very proud of my personality. And I thought this was just the way it's going to be forever. I just thought this is going to be my life because fate, right? And things like luck and destiny and all of that. I subscribe to all of that. It was then that I started my journey on personal development, and through multiple different teachers, through multiple different modalities, I finally understood what helps you co-create your life with the universe and it has completely transformed my financial life, it's completely transformed my personal life, it's completely transformed my relationships. And today I want to share that information with you because I truly, truly believe in its power to change lives. And if you've been suffering, if you've been living a very, very limited life, if you've been having scarcity around money, around love, if you've been having toxic relationships, and if you've been just living a life of fear, what you learn in today's video is completely going to revolutionize your life if you apply it. So if you're here, I truly believe that you are an action taker. I know that you're somebody who is determined to change your life. I know that you're someone who is going to take this information and implement it like your life depends on it, because honestly, it really does. It's taken me 10 years to learn what I'm about to teach you today. Very, very potent information. It's not been taught like this on YouTube before. So take notes if you have to, or just pay attention. Don't get distracted with multiple other things. Be here, be present, and take action on whatever I'm about to teach you. Let's get into it. To understand why we are the way we are, I've taken the analogy of the Instagram algorithm. The algorithm, as you know, shows you more of what you engage with. There might be millions and billions of other bits of information and other pieces of content out there, but the algorithm doesn't show you any of it because it can see that you're engaging with certain types of posts and it shows you more of that. The brain is also like the Instagram algorithm. It shows you more of what you focus on, even though there are a million other possibilities out there. Okay, so exactly like the Instagram algorithm shows you more of what you focus on, the brain also shows you more of what you focus on. And to understand this, let's understand the brain's reticular activating system. Okay, the reticular activating system is a system in the brain that shows you your reality, that filters out all other realities and shows you your reality based on what you focus on. And the reason it does this is because at any given instant, the brain is bombarded with 11 million bits of information. Can you imagine what a humongous amount of information we have been bombarded with at any given point? If our conscious minds were to process all of this information, it would short circuit and it would completely get overwhelmed and burnt out. This is why the brain, being such a beautiful tool and such a beautiful machine that it is, has devised a way in which it accesses only 40 bits of information at any given time through our conscious minds. And it is this 40 bits of information that we are seeing as our reality on a day-to-day basis, day after day. Now, how does the brain determine what 40 bits of information it needs to show you? The way it does this is through our thoughts, our beliefs about ourselves, about other people, and about the world around us, and our emotions. It doesn't choose every thought, it just takes up predominant thoughts and sees what thoughts are being repeated every day. We have about 60 to 90,000 thoughts on a day-to-day basis, and 95% of them are the same. So the brain sees what are these thoughts that are the same, what are the corresponding beliefs, what are the emotions that are associated with it, and let me show her or him more of what is congruent with these thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Most of our predominant thoughts and beliefs were shaped when we were children. Up until the age of 7, we were literally like sponges. We could take on all the information in our environment, all the information that our caregivers were giving us, and we used to absorb it and make it our reality. So, up until the age of 7, scientists say that a child's brain is in theta state, which is the most receptive state. So anything that's programmed into a child up until the age of 7 stays put and stays, it becomes such a concrete programming that it becomes really difficult to break later. So by the age of 7, you've already picked up a bunch of thoughts, a bunch of beliefs about the world, about people, about money, about relationships. And when you're continuing to be in that same environment till you move out of home, so those beliefs and those thoughts are getting reinforced again and again till they become so solid, until they become a part of your core personality. You become a person who has these thoughts, who has these beliefs about the areas of your life: health, relationship, money, yourself, spirituality. All of these get conditioned when you are a child. So if you've had caregivers or elders around who've constantly made you feel like you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, they've made you feel that money is so scarce, they've asked you questions like, do you think money grows on trees? And they've really made it so difficult for you to believe that you are someone who's worthy of receiving anything good, because they've always made you feel guilty. Do you know how hard dad works? Do you know how hard I've had to work to put you through school? So you always feel like you're a burden, like they're doing you a favor by giving you your basic necessities. So if you've absorbed all of these beliefs, chances are that you've grown into an adult who also has these beliefs and who attracts situations or people who will make you further believe these things about you. Your brain takes into account all of these beliefs to show you your 40 bits of information, and it shows you people, it shows you circumstances and opportunities that mirror and match these beliefs, and you start thinking of yourself as an unlucky person or somebody who's hit by fate and destiny and all of that, when you actually have complete control to change all of this. Just like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personality creates your personal reality. I love this saying. Personality consists of your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your actions, and all of these together, and your self concept. All of these together form your personality. And depending on your personality, you see your personal reality or the reality that you see in your life. Now, we'll see how we can change our personality so that we can create a better personal reality. But before that, I want to give you another factor which influences the way we are, and that is known as epigenetics. Epigenetics is how your genes are turned on or off by your environment without changing your DNA. Okay, what this means is that your DNA has certain bits of information that your ancestors have passed on to you, and based on your environment, it can get turned on or off. So that's why you see, if you've had alcoholism in your family and you're not an alcoholic, but suddenly at the age of 35, something stressful happens and you see yourself turning to alcohol and becoming an alcoholic, it's because that particular gene got turned on in that stressful environment. Similarly, lifestyle diseases like diabetes or any other diseases that people say are genetic are because that particular gene was turned on because of a certain environment that you put yourself in. It could be in a bad diet environment, a stressful environment, a very, very overwhelming environment. The good news is that if an environment can turn on a gene, it can also turn it off. So if you're somebody right now who is suffering with some kind of a lifestyle disorder or something that is caused because of your gene becoming active or something that's being passed on by your ancestors, know that if that particular gene can be turned on, it can also be turned off. There was a study done on men who had early stage prostate cancer. It was a 3-month study, and Dr. Dean Ornish was the one who conducted the study, and he proved that with the right environment of a plant-based diet, meditation, exercise, and emotional support, over 500 gene expressions could be changed. So it turned down the cancer promoting genes and turned up the protective ones. So he actually proves that putting people who had diseases in an environment that was conducive for health actually turned off the disease producing genes and turned on wellness producing ones. And this is something I've personally experienced and seen firsthand at a Joe Dispenza retreat, where the entire focus was on curating a very, very high vibrational environment. I saw people with cancers curing their cancers, people with terminal diseases completely healing from it. And it was miraculous to even witness all of that. Okay, now I'm not a medical expert and this is not medical advice. So don't take it as that. This is just me opening your eyes to a possibility that a better life is available. And even if you're suffering from some kind of a lifestyle disease, it can be reversed if you give yourself the right environment. Now let's go back to our personality example, changing our personality and changing our personal reality. You can change your reality by just changing your thoughts. Now let's understand why thoughts are the most important factor in changing your personal reality. Every thought you think is sending an electrical signal through your brain's neurons. And when you think the same thought again and again, more neurons are firing together in that same directions and they start forming stronger connections. Over time, these neural pathways become your default mental patterns. And when they're repeated long enough, these thoughts, they become your beliefs, they become your habits, and they become your automatic behaviors. Okay, think about it like a forest. In a forest, if you want to get to the other side of the forest, you need to carve out a path. And the way you carve out a path is by walking along the same route again and again and clearing out all the weeds and the bushes that are coming in your way. Now, the more people walk on this path, the more that path becomes well defined. And after a while, plants stop growing on that path and it becomes a very, very well defined, nice path that anyone can then come and tread over. Right? This is how paths are formed in forests. Now, if you want to find an alternate path in the forest, what do you need to do? You need to start following the same process again towards that alternate route. So this is what it looks like. You start walking down that alternate route again and again. You keep walking down the road until the weeds and the bushes don't come and cover up that path. And when you start taking the second route over and over and over again, the first route is forgotten and people don't walk on it anymore. And when people don't walk on it anymore, bushes and plants start to come and cover up that particular path. For a while, you won't be able to see that path, right? And the new one is the only thing that you see. This is exactly the way our thoughts and our neural pathways work. The more we fuel a neural pathway, the clearer that path becomes. The more we fuel another neural pathway, the faster the other one gets forgotten. But it takes time. Remember, for the first path to get covered up by trees and bushes and plants, it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight. Right? Similarly, for your old patterns to die, it will take some time. And the only way it happens is when you stop fueling it and you are so consistent with your new thoughts that you're not giving up on it even when you're not seeing results. I've made myself smaller here so that I can show you this very important flow chart. You see that your identity creates your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your feelings create action, your actions create result, and depending on the result, your identity is further solidified. Now, if you look at this entire diagram and if you see that identity is the place where we need to intercept and we need to change our identity first, it becomes really difficult because identity is very subconscious. Now, it's super difficult to get to our subconscious mind and start reprogramming from there because it's already very, very strong. So, we move on to the next bubble, which is thoughts. Thoughts are the only things we can control because they first occur at a conscious level. So we can intercept them as soon as they occur at the conscious level. So thoughts are the most important things to change when it comes to actually creating a new life. Okay. So let's take the example of working out. Your identity is that of an unfit person. Your thoughts are, I don't like workouts, I can't stick to workouts. And because your thoughts are this, you know you want to work out, but you just don't feel like working out. So you're feeling unmotivated, you're feeling guilty that you're not working out. And because you're feeling unmotivated and guilty, you end up turning to something that makes you feel better, which is binge eating, junk foods, or doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing. And as a result of that, you are in low energy, you don't have that much fitness, and because you have low energy and low fitness, it solidifies the identity of being an unfit person. So how do you change this entire reality for yourself? You intercept it at the thought level. Okay, so what do we do with the thought? Can't stick to workouts. Now let's see how we can change that thought. The new thought is, I can find fun ways to move that I look forward to. You can't immediately change it to I can stick to workouts, because your brain will call bullshit on that and it'll be like, no, we can't. So you need to change it to something that's more believable. Now, it's not just enough to have a new thought. It's important to substantiate this thought or solidify it or strengthen it by giving it enough proof to show that yes, this thought is true. So what do? You start looking for proof. Okay, find evidences to turn that thought into a belief. Find any evidence, it can be the smallest one. So, what is the thought? I can find fun ways to move that I look forward to. What are the evidences of this? I loved moving when I danced at my cousin's wedding for hours without noticing the time. I looked forward to my evening walks during the lockdown because they felt freeing and relaxing. My friend hated gyms but now wakes up excited for her Zumba classes. Now remember, you can also find evidences of other people who have achieved what you want, other people in similar situations. Okay. I once joined an office cricket match and was surprised by how much I enjoy running around. So you've given your brain enough evidence to show that yes, I do like moving. Now, once you've given it enough evidence, this new thought gets solidified. And you need to do this constantly until the old thought gets released. Remember the forest with the two paths? So, in order to remove the first path, you need to keep walking down the new path. And after a while, every time you have the new thought, you will trigger the feelings of motivation, of excitement. I can find fun ways to move that I look forward to. And because I'm motivated and excited, I'm going to try out different workouts that feel enjoyable. As a result of that, I have high energy and release happy hormones. Now, as a result of that, I solidify the fact that I enjoy movement every day. You see how an identity is formed, so your personal reality changes, the result changes. The personal reality now becomes high energy, happy hormones versus low energy and low fitness. So you see, this is how your new reality is formed. You start changing your thought and you start giving it enough evidence until it becomes a belief, and then you produce the emotions that go with it and you keep strengthening it. So if you have any scarcity around money, find instances, find a new thought to believe, find evidences in your life where money has supported you, where you do have money, even if it's $1, even if it's 1 rupee, whatever it is, that's still money. So be thankful for it. Look for evidences, look for evidences of people who have succeeded from similar places where you are. Whatever your limiting belief is, you can flip it and you can find an evidence that supports a new belief. And this is how you change your personal reality, and this works 100% of the time. If you found value in today's video, please hit that like button. I've created a free printable for you, which you can download in the show notes. So this is something that you can print out and stick on your desk, or just frame it and keep it somewhere where you can see it every day, because it's a constant reminder to tell you that you are the creator of your life, that you have complete control over your life by just changing your thought. Okay, it's easy for us to forget because we're creatures of habit, and you may just go on to the next video and forget what you learned. So make sure you go ahead and download that free printable so that you have it top of mind at any given point. So that's it for today. If you found value in today's video, please hit that subscribe button, because that's the only way you'll be alerted whenever I put out a new video. And most of my videos are going to be backed by neuroscience. They're going to help you get to your next level, and wherever possible, I'm going to break it down into a step-by-step actionable plan that you can implement, so that you can just hit the road running. You can just take whatever you learn in the video, implement it, and watch your life transform. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.